Crystal Edge Technology Screens. I'm going to be doing a series of videos on me dismantling my old screen and setting up and getting ready for the new screen, which is going to be a 150-inch 16:9 Signature 17 black. I'm pretty sure the screen is acoustic. The surface is acoustic. I don't know yet until I actually get it over here. I won't have it over here until Thursday because I did order one of the pieces. So it'll be here Thursday, and that'll give me an idea of what I'm going to be dealing with once it gets here. Now, on Saturday, I have the driver dropping off packages. Also, too, going to stop over to Lowe's to pick me up some lumber so I can begin building the frame. All that's going to be documented so we can have this on a section on the website of me building the screen, building the frame, putting everything together, dismantling my other screens. Going to be a whole segment. So all this has to be recorded to be documented on the website for our customers to come in and see. So we're going to start from basic, from one, dismantling the screen, taking it apart, and then bit by bit, there's going to be videos for this particular video only that we're going to be logging on for the website. All right, so first thing I got to do is I have to start moving my stuff out of the way because the screen that's 150 inches is going to take up some room, a lot more room than the 235.1 easily, because it's a much bigger and wider screen. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna have to put this in the next room over there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put this over in the next room so I can have still have my LED lights set up. And I'm gonna have to move my screen set. So I want to get all this ready so by the time the lumber and everything gets in, I'm gonna build a frame right from there. The minute the lumber gets in, I'm gonna start building on the frame. I can start working and getting this thing all taken care of. I'm dismantling this today. I'm hoping that I didn't use ratchets, I forget the ratchets or hex keys to put that together. I'm pretty sure this one was all screws. So going here, let me just, I think this is, yeah, this is going to my projector. And we're going to have to take this out too. Pull this? I don't have to pull this, right? No. I had to pull this. Oh, Wizard of Oz. I had this there for so long. I gotta take that down, so that's not gonna fit with that screen up there. So I'm gonna take that spot too. Some water. I went down the wrong pipe. I'm gonna go get my power drill. outro is downstairs. Ah, it is downstairs. Okay. A little bit temperamental. She's gonna go. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna have to get something to block that window completely because there can't be any light pushing through on acoustic. Let me get that stuff out of the way first. I don't know why I left that there. That was stupid. Okay, what's causing you to not want to separate? There we go. Interesting part, if you lived next to me, it would be yours. You could have it. But two things are going to happen to it. Either it goes in the house somewhere, upstairs in storage, or I throw it in the trash. I don't need it. And all my friends who know me will just come by and pick up whatever they want. They had to keep them. I had about, 40 projectors? I got about 10 of them. Most of them I sold, the rest of them I gave away. I had somebody come down I was good friends with. I gave him 3 of them. I gave him a Sony. I gave him the Panasonic. Gave him a couple projectors. And that's usually what I do when I change out my screens. I just give them away. I throw them in the trash. Usually trashmen, they pick them up and they just, ask me if I can hold that for them. And they'll come by and pick it up later on. No problem. I usually never sell these screens. So there's nobody that I know that can accommodate a 235.1 because you have to have a special projector for it. Oh, it is all screws. Goody goody. Taking this thing apart is going to be fast. All right, so this is going to be easy. I can't stand doing hex keys, man. I can't stand them. This is going to be fast and quick. When I think dismantled in no time at all. All right. Like I said, all my neighbors across the street, all of them, they have our screens. How many screens I've built and taken apart, and I'm just giving them screens. They can have them. This one's going to go upstairs. I thought about sticking outside in the backyard, but I don't go in the backyard because I have really, really bad allergies. And right now, I'm going through it right now. Went out this morning to take out the trash, went past the bushes, something blew, breathed something in, and now I'm having some problems. So between, like I said, if you have, if I'm saying it correctly, some stuff I've been saying it wrong, but hey, whatever, I have it. But if you have respiratories and allergies, don't go hand in hand and all that well. So that's why you don't see me out in the front, and that's why I don't go in the backyard. I go in the areas where we have very little grass. So my driveway, has very little grass, so I'm good out there, and that's why I stay on top of the deck, because if I go out there and breathe something in, I am jacked for the whole day. And I mean literally messed up for the whole day. How bad can it get? I bought myself an electric trimmer to trim my grass in the front a little bit, so you know, look nice. Usually I have to pay someone to do it, and just from trimming that little bit of grass, whatever I breathed in out there, I had to hit my inhaler a few times. So yeah, I don't like being out in the front or the back too much. And I was able to do it last year because we didn't have any grass in the backyard. Like everything was beat down and dead back there. So it was really easy for me to do demonstrations back there because there was nothing growing back there. But ever since I've been feeding the squirrels, whew, backyard has changed a bit. A lot. All right, so you don't want to hear me talk about my backyard and stuff like that. So that's why I really don't like to be out much. I like my deck because I'm high up and I don't have to worry about breathing anything in my backyard. So it was just about everything. So, yeah. If there's a day that I can't breathe and I'm having a bad day, it's a day that I can't work, and I like to work, so I don't want to mess that up. God forbid. Okay. So, this is going to be pretty easy. Let me get myself a container so I don't lose my stuff. And I got a temporary screen to put there for the time being. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put this here because on Saturday I build my screen because my lumber gets here on Saturday. But still, I can coat the other screen and hang it up just for fun to see what it looks like. The black alcohol. Let me see. I need me a container. Container. I'll just grab one of these for the time being. Let me see if I can move this out first. Oh, I can. That makes it better. See, these are the ones I'm talking about. If you're doing a fixed frame screen, you want to make sure that you get the fixed frame screens that have these pegs right here. Because usually the ones that have the springs, and I'll show you the springs, let's just name brand. I wouldn't mess with it too much. I'm gonna find something here. Wow, what is this? Watts and watts. Good. We got two of them here. So I'm going to show you. All right. So usually, or most frames on how they make them, they give you this little device right here, and you get these springs like this. Now the problem is that if you get a good screen like an Elite screen, they make their springs where they're not too short. They're just right. They're going to fit the frame just right. They're going to click onto your bar here, and then you're going to take this piece right here and you're going to put it around here like so, and you're going to pull your frame. Mind you, this has to go, pretend these pegs on here. This is your support rail right here, suspension rail. It's going to click right on here like that, and then you're going to grab this part right here and you're going to pull it. And it's going to be a latch in here it's going to connect to. That's usually how most of them are made. Now with Elite screens, their springs are just right. They fit. But some of the cheaper generic screens, which you have to be careful about, they make the springs way too short. And what happens is you may connect from here all the way to there with no problem. And you may connect a little bit here, but once you get up to right when the screen has to finish off, that's where your nightmare begins, because you have where your screen's going to be too small. They make the screen too small, number one, and they make the springs too short. So now you're sitting there going into Incredible Hulk mode, trying to pull that smaller screen over with these shorter springs that connect here, and it becomes a personal nightmare. I lie to you not. That's why usually if I'm looking to buy a frame, this is what I go for. I go for the pegs. The pegs are so easy because all you got to do is just slide your pegs onto that rail like this, and just take this. That's it. You're done. There's no pulling, stretching, none of that nonsense. Just snap it over and you're done. That's why I like the peg system better. So even though you might find a cheap frame on Amazon for a good price, if it has that spring system on it, there's a good chance you're going to run into that nightmare. And then you're going to be so frustrated because it's going to, and I mean it, it's going to take all your patience. You'll see exactly how much patience you have if you can put that together. It's just, you're going to have to bring in a friend or somebody to help you pull that, because that's going to be your person. Like I said, it's going to be a headache. This is so much easier to take apart. All right, let me get this all the way over to one side and come all the way around the other side and pull that up so we can get that. We got this rail in the middle. Here's your support rail. Only thing I like about this is when they designed the support rail for this, it's aluminum. I can bend this. Literally put this in my kneecap and just bend this. This is very easy to bend. The ones that Elite Screens have, they're made out of metal, solid metal, which is the borderless. The borderless ones are made with the more heavier structure beam in the middle, where their 135s are made with this flimsy aluminum nonsense, which I don't know why. You hear that sounds? That's how it sounds. It's aluminum. And then, inside your frame, this is called a tension rod. So, inside your frame, there's a tension rod, which I'm going to pull out in a few minutes. That allows it for it to be able to connect onto the frame. This is why I was mad at Elite Screens, because when I ordered the 135-inch, those rods were missing. See that little tiny rod right there at the end? Without that, you can't build your screen. Can't build it without it. You need them. These are called tension rods. I have other names for them. Without those, you can't put your screen together. Your screen is absolutely useless. That's why I have a 35-inch Elite Screen Surface upstairs, because when I ordered this screen, I never got the tension rods with it. And they put me through a nightmare just to get my rods, and then I'm just getting my money back and just bought me another screen. Tension rods. So now we have that one side, it's all lifted up on that end. Just repeat the same process all the way around this hole. Now, I was going to go out and spend $380 for another fixed frame screen. But when my business partner contacted me with 150-inch of that blackout cloth, do you have any idea how much money I'm gonna save? A lot. A lot of money. I spent $1,200 for the projector in there. I spent $580 for this screen. My new screen is going to be bigger than this one. It's going to cost me less. The signature blackout cloth, of course, for you, you don't have to coat it. I have to coat it. So on my end, I still have to coat my screen. But for you, all you would have to do is build the frame, staple to the frame, you're done. Me, on the other hand, since I designed it, I have to coat my own screen. So coat it, even though it's still is even faster and easier. Coat the screen, the surface. And the one thing about the Signature 17, it's a concentrated coating. It takes one spray application for it to actually fuse to the screen. So the screen you see upstairs, that wasn't a 1 or 2 coat. That is a light brushing. That stuff is concentrated for that screen to react that way. So it'll take me a few minutes. Take it outside, strap it up, done. That's it. Takes one coat, that's it. Knock it out. So it's going to cost me, I say, for the lumber and all, I say about $30 for the lumber. I already checked around the house. I got L brackets all over the house. I got plenty of hardware to put it together, so I'm not worried about that. And then with the surface and all, like I said, surface, I can't tell you what I'm paying for the surface. I'm sorry, but I can't tell you the wholesale price I'm getting for it. But as I said before, you know, it's going to cost me pretty much next to nothing than me coming in and buying a 150-inch aluminum fixed frame screen, which is going to be quite pricey. And then the projector, because now I'm not stuck to marry the 235.1 anymore, because I had to pay $1,200 for that projector due to the fact that it had a 235.1 setting. I can choose what projector I want. So the only thing that's going to fit a screen size of that big in that small little area is an ultra short throw. And the only one I can think of that's going to fit nicely, it's going to have that position bar for me to bring the screen down to fit nicely, is going to be an NEC projector, which I found one for $175. That's how cheap it is. I'm going to build this setup. So keep in mind, with the screen you see upstairs in the Japanese tea room being used with the same NEC model, I'm going to be able to get that picture quality downstairs, but at 150 inches. And that means it's going to be super cheap. And I don't have to worry about spending money for a high-end projector because technology does all the work. That's the beautiful thing about it all. All right. That's cool, you know? Don't get me wrong, man. I like the paint and all, but if I don't have to paint a 150-inch screen, I'm not going to paint a 150-inch screen. That's all to it. If I have a faster way of doing it. And that acoustic blackout cloth makes it so much easier. You have no idea. To just come in and just staple it to a frame and be done with it. Even though, like I said, our screen paints are easy to do, it's a 150-inch screen. It's a big screen. So I'm glad he was able to find that, because man, I almost put the money down for that 150-inch aluminum frame. Almost put the money on it when he emailed me that screen. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this couldn't have came at a perfect time. All right, let me get these on the side. When I get those forum sites, when I have people in there saying, well, you know, I have this particular screen. Well, we're in there talking, and the guy coming in and showing me his DMP Supernova, and I see a lot of the Paxels. I call them Paxels, that's what I call them. I see a lot of those on those forum sites. People showing up this $5,000, $8,000 projection screens. The only reason I go into those forum sites to show them that, hey, look, this is my screen right here. Now, what is that? That's our technology. Well, I got it so and so and so. Oh, you do that. You have that screen. That's fantastic. Because keep in mind, that's why I have so many sample sheets. So I'll go in there and they'll show off his $10,000 projection screen and a, what do you call it, ambient light controlled environment and high powered, expensive, very expensive projector. And then I'll show my setup that I have upstairs on my screen that's using the cheap old eBay setup, my eBay projector. And then I'll take his screen, which is his sample sheet, because I have over 18 of certified screens. And I'll take his screen and say, look, that's the difference between yours and mine. And at the end of the day, I got a phone call coming in from this guy who wants to know how to get rid of his screen to upgrade to one of ours. That's the important thing. That's why we do all these demonstrations against certified projection screens, because I have customers that can afford $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 for a home theater setup. And, you know, at the end of the day, if you show them something better, they'll buy it. But you have to show proof of it. That's why got to do those color patterns are very important. Got to do those color patterns. It's very important. Okay. Now, also too, something really important. Oh, you know something you don't know? I have an exclusive members only. I don't tell anybody about it. You have to kind of hear about it through word of mouth. But I have exclusive members only on my Facebook page. Not on my Facebook page, but on another page. We're up to about 3,000, 4,000 members. And I got companies in there that I do business with. We show them all the new stuff we're working on, stuff like that. I said I wasn't going to be designing any more screen paint. Didn't say I was going to be working on new stuff for companies. But anyway, you have to find out through word of mouth. I don't kind of advertise it. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, there you go. All right, so here's the tension rods that you will get with your screen if you decide when you get one. Here's the tension rods. You will notice that some tension rods are taller than others. So, how do you know which tension rods go where? Because you have ones that go for the short ends, one goes for long ends. The long ends are always longer than the actual the screen. The shorter ones are these right here. So if you get two of these, that means you have one going on one end and one going on the other end. Don't get them mixed up, because trust me, you have to go back and pull them all over again. Those of you who have never put together fixed frame screens, and I've done quite a lot of them, read through that manual. Tell me it won't be your personal nightmare. That manual is something else. Oh, it's something else. It's the equivalence of trying to put together IKEA furniture in the dark with sunglasses on. A lot of you not. When I first got my first fixed frame screen, I must have watched a dozen YouTube videos of people putting them together. All right. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. All right, so usually people will try to use these with our screen paints for a, you could paint as long as you got this onto a frame. But they make this on a portable screen for outside. Don't ever use this. I'm just telling you right now. Don't ever use PVC as an outdoor projection screen. The kind that you hang up that has the grommets in it. They sell them on Amazon. Don't use them. And I'll tell you why. Because this surface right here is going to stick. And I mean, it's going to stick. You fold it up, you put it in the corner, and with the paint on top of it and the heat hitting it, it is going to fuse together. When you pull it together, it is going to tear the screen up. Unless you put some kind of paper in between and roll it up, then it's definitely going to work. But you're just better off just using the fabric. It's breathable. And I'm going to tell you something too, what I don't understand. And we got to test one too. The outdoor projection screens is worse enough they don't show up because they're white. Why in the world would you make them double-sided? Because you know you got light pushing through a screen that you're going to fade it even faster. Like I said, as soon as we get outside, we'll get a chance to show you all that stuff. And that way, we'll buy it and you can save your money. All right, so I'm going to need paper, and I don't have any paper. All right, I'm going to have to just fold it. I'm going to have to fold it this way, and then come back and get some paper for it. How do I know this? Experience. I know this from experience because first time I made a blackout cloth material, I used a PVC vinyl surface and it stuck. Had them all folded up real nicely, shipped them off to our customers, and the screens had massive complaints because the PVC surface and the formula were still curing. It means you actually had a liquid that was still curing in the screen. The screen was dry, but even though it was so dry, it was still curing. It still had a moisture in the screen. Didn't line the screens with any kind of paper or anything whatsoever, and the screen stuck. By the time the customers got hold of it and tried to pull it apart, the screens were destroyed. So I had to go in and return all that money, learned a valuable lesson out of that, started making screens out of fabric. The things that you learn. And that right there, curious, that's the color of the black gold. That's a black gold screen right there. They don't look that dark, do they? You know, sitting up there, but yes, black gold. That's the Black Nova Gold Edition. Screen. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Rails. Rods. My rails, my rods, my rods, my rails. Really? Oh, that's one out of a million. I think I'm gonna use this screen when I move. When I move, in the weatherproof frame, so that the whatchamacallit doesn't bleed into the screen. I'm gonna put this thing right out into my garden. That's exactly what I'm gonna do with it. But I don't need it now. All right, let's start taking it apart. I am going to be considering, I'm gonna still do some videos on here, but I'm starting to be another channel for Christians. You don't have to be a Christian to be on there. It's just going to be a channel for Christians, Christian home theater. So, you know, because there's a lot of things changing in my life, people. We just have to understand. There's a lot of things changing in my life. It really is. It's kind of getting tired. I mean, there's just a point in your life where you just get tired of the same nonsense that the world dishes out every day. And you just want to change a little more. And I see myself more and more every day getting closer and closer to God. Some people don't want to hear this, but I see myself getting more and more closer to God, and more closer to God, the less and less and less I can deal with some of the things of the world. Can't deal with it. I just can't. That's why I can't do contracts, because just the stuff that I've seen in the past, the sneakiness and undermined stuff I've seen, I can't deal with it. But I would like to get into a point in my company where I can start developing technology for churches and stuff like that. That's a good contract for me, but for big companies and stuff, you just don't know. You don't know what goes on. It's a lot of stuff that goes on. I don't want no part of it. I had a big order that came in. And yeah, I could have used the money. I got bills to pay just like everybody else. I do have bills to pay like everybody else. I'm not a rich man. And that's a big order that came through. I let the order go. And the reason why I let the order go, because where they were going to be putting the screen paint at. It was in an establishment that I just didn't want it there. Didn't feel right about it. God blessed me with the ability to be able to do this, and I didn't need the money that much. I needed it, but not on that level. Not for that. No. You gotta be to stand your ground. That, like my mom used to say, you got a choice: to eat with demons or eat with angels. And I prefer to eat with angels. I've already eaten with demons before, and it's not a pretty table to sit at. But yeah, I can see God's got big plans for my work, what I do, and I just got to make sure I'm walking on a level playing field as I'm doing it. All right, so let's get this screen taken over. We're actually already done. That's pretty much it. We're already knocking this out. You can tell when the screen's made well because of, I bought a couple of real cheap screens. I'll show you where. All right, so yeah, I got rid of a couple of my accounts. So I used to have TikTok, deleted that, got rid of Instagram. I can't deal with it no more. See that right there? That's the sliding system right there. That's what I like. Just slide them right off. Here's the little pegs right there. I like those. This is what you want to make sure. See this right here? See how well that's made right there? That's a good L bracket or bridge L bracket. Some companies will make this out of plastic, which is bad because you could easily snap your frame. Or say your frame drops, you can snap that. And that's going to take your frame and it's going to give it an uneven look to it. It's not going to lay flat. It's going to have a bit of a crooked weight to it because these rails right here are very important. They have to be metal. See how thick that is? A very good metal. But I've seen the real thin ones. They have the real thin ones that they make. You don't want those. Yep. These are good. And then in the middle of your frame, you'll have those. These are the other brackets you'll have in the middle of the frame right there that connect together. I'm so glad when they first started making these fixed frames, they didn't break in the middle. They never broke in the middle. It was just one long piece. So that means if it was one long piece, you were going to pay some money for shipping, because the fact that you couldn't break it in half and compact it into a smaller box means your shipping cost is going to be a lot more. That was a very smart idea to have it broken in half, because the first ones that came out weren't like that. See how thick that bar is for the middle? That's very important to have a bar that thick in the middle. Because, man, if you don't have a good support bar for the middle, boy, your frame is just going to... That's not going to be pretty. You did a good job. I'll tell you one thing. You did a good job putting this thing together. Are we going the other way, or are we going this way? Which way? Okay. Ouch. All right, this one's done. Sunny day, she's not So look at that. That's when I put the frog tape under the frame. I say you put it under the frame. It was under the frame. I had it way under the frame. There we go. Well, the good thing about it is now when I put together my other frame, that's going to be pretty easy to do. Because, man, building your own frame is easy. It's really easy. Some people think it's really hard. It's not hard. It's really, really easy to build a frame. It's not that hard. When you go to them different sites, maybe it's like, yeah, some people have it where you need all these saws, tabletop saws and all that stuff to build a frame. Yeah, okay, sure. You don't need all that. You go out and spend $1,400 for a huge table of saws so I can basically cut a piece of wood. And if you don't have the tools to be able to cut it, Home Depot or Lowe's will cut it for you right there on the spot. Tell them the size that you want. Now, before you go down and start sizing out how big you want your screen, I always say turn your projector on first and see what size screen you're going to get from your projector. Because the biggest mistake you want to do is build your frame first, and either your screen's too big for the picture or too small for the picture. So what you want to do is you want to go back and you want to basically turn your projector on and see what size you can get from there. Or you just go over to Projector Central and type in the model number of your projector, and you can go from there. And you can get the information on how tall your screen's got to be. So it'll give you the proper measurements right from there, from your model number of your projector, and how far your projector is going to sit back from your screen. So just make sure you get your distance on how far your projector is going to sit back, and that will give you your height and your length of your screen. But it's not hard to build. Screens are not hard to do. So there's several different screens that you can build. The one I'm going to be putting together, basically, it's not going to have the brackets on the outside. Because usually if you put the brackets on the outside, what happens is when you go to pull over the material, you're going to have an imprint of a bracket pushing through your material, and it's going to look ugly. Which I have upstairs on the Japanese screen. I have the brackets pushing through. There's a way to get around that. You don't have to worry about that, but it'll be nice and smooth, and I'll show you how to do that so you don't get those brackets sticking through. I remember when I put this screen together. Just such a beautiful thing. Now it's all in pieces. All taken apart. That's it. Imagine that great big screen I had sitting on my wall. There it is. All right, so this is just part one. Got the screen taken apart, got it dismantled. I'm gonna put this in a box, put this upstairs in the attic. And then I am going to, Thursday, my Surface will be here. I can't do that yet because I have orders over there on the table to take care of. So we got to get them taken care of first. We're going to be shipping out 2 days, Friday and Saturday. So if you want the 120-inch blackout cloth Surface Signature 17, unfortunately, we don't have those. They're going to be in back order until May the 6th. We do have the 100 inches. And if this goes well, and it should, we'll have 150-inch. They're going to go for $348. They're going to be available on the website next week. But first, I need to build mine to see exactly how this is going to go. If it all goes well, it ends up on the website. If it doesn't, and we don't talk about it ever again. Or we're just trying to find another Surface or something. I don't know. But it should go well. Judging by the pictures that I saw in the email that my partner sent to me, it looks extremely good. And it's maybe acoustic. And if it's acoustic, well, then now I got to go buy new speakers because I got a 150-inch acoustic screen in my theater room, and I need to get some towers. So I'm going to put towers behind them and hide everything right behind the back of that screen, which I can't wait. All right, well, now we got to do is get this covered up and make it look a little more neater. Because, as I said before, when you're dealing with an acoustic screen, if sound can travel through it, light can travel through it. So it has to sit behind something where light can't pass through. So that has to be covered up. And that's a little neater than that. All right, I'm done here. This is part one. I'm going to be loading this onto the website. And this is going to be a part of a couple of videos of me dismantling the screen and getting ready, building the frame, and from building the frame, attaching the surface to it, and then hanging the screen up, and then from there displaying it on the projector that we're going to be doing an unboxing on the projector with the screen that I got from eBay for $175. All right, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you for your time. Check out our summer sale. All shipping is free. Gotta go, and God bless.